Intentional infliction of emotional distress and divorce in Illinois. People can treat each other terribly before, during and after a divorce, yet Illinois divorce courts are not designed to punish bad behavior. Judges divide marital property without regard to marital misconduct and base child support and maintenance on the parties' incomes. Parenting time orders cannot consider a parent's conduct unless it directly affects the children. Because dissolution proceedings provide no compensatory relief for domestic abuse, a spouse seeking redress for severe mistreatment must pursue a separate tort claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Illinois law allows spouses and ex-spouses to sue each other for torts just as if they were unmarried. Intentional infliction of emotional distress is a tort that requires proof of three elements. The conduct must be extreme and outrageous. The actor must intend to cause severe emotional distress or know that it is likely, and the conduct must actually cause severe emotional distress. The behavior must go beyond all possible bounds of decency and cannot be mere insults, indignities, threats, annoyances, or other trivialities. Courts exercise caution when claims arise from marital conduct but still recognize them. Marital relationships often involve power imbalances and knowledge of a partner's vulnerabilities. A spouse who controls the other party and makes veiled or explicit threats may be deemed outrageous. Rude or abrasive behavior can become intentional infliction of emotional distress if the defendant knows the plaintiff is particularly susceptible to emotional harm. When conduct is objectively outrageous, courts presume that any severe distress alleged resulted from that behavior, and plaintiffs need not present professional testimony from a doctor, psychiatrist, or therapist. Not all distressing conduct will qualify. Damages for solely emotional harm are not recoverable in an action for fraud. A defendant is not liable for emotional distress when he has done no more than insist upon his legal rights in a permissible way, even if he knows this will cause distress. A careful lawyer can explain whether the facts meet the extreme standard or fall within these exceptions. Illinois imposes a 2-year statute of limitations on intentional infliction of emotional distress claims. The clock starts when facts exist that authorize the lawsuit. Because emotional distress can occur over time, courts apply a continuing violation rule. When a tort involves a continuing injury, the limitations period does not begin until the last injury or when the tortious acts cease. Ongoing harassment can extend the filing window, but filing more than 2 years after the judgment of dissolution will usually be too late unless the wrongful behavior continues. Once divorced, parties cannot use findings from the dissolution action as evidence in a later tort case. Marital settlement agreements often waive past claims, but parties cannot waive the right to sue for future abuse because such a release would violate public policy. Failing to follow a divorce decree cannot lead to punitive or emotional distress damages. When an ex-spouse persists in outrageous conduct after the divorce, filing a civil action may be necessary to stop the behavior and obtain compensation. Russell D. Knight is a dedicated divorce attorney with nearly 2 decades of experience practicing family law in Illinois. He has authored more than 750 articles on Illinois divorce and family law and has contributed to authoritative texts on dissolution proceedings. Fluent in multiple languages, he helps clients understand complex divorce issues. If a spouse's or ex-spouse's behavior is outrageous but the divorce court does not seem to care, you can contact the Chicago family law firm to speak with an experienced divorce attorney. This law firm offers insights into intentional infliction of emotional distress and highlights the importance of acting quickly. Consulting a lawyer early helps preserve evidence and apply the continuing violation rule properly. If you believe a spouse or ex-spouse's behavior meets the standard, speaking with a knowledgeable attorney can help protect your rights. For more information or to discuss your situation, contact the law office of Russell D. Knight, a law firm located at 1165 North Clark Street, number 700, Chicago, Illinois, 60610, United States, by calling 773-334-6311.